The United States fielded a wide range of aircraft in World War I, from fragile trainers and borrowed French fighters to early bombers and massive naval flying boats. This video breaks down every major American aircraft used in the war. Let's begin with America's earliest aircraft, Curtiss Model F flying boat, one of the first practical U.S. military aircraft. The Model F was a lightweight wooden flying boat used for training and coastal patrol, underpowered and exposed, but reliable enough to establish early naval aviation. Wright Model B, a direct descendant of the Wright brothers' flyers. Obsolete even before the war, this pusher-prop biplane had limited control authority and very low speed. It served mainly as a trainer and experimental test aircraft. Curtiss JN-2, a transitional twin-seat trainer prototype. Weak, underpowered, and quickly replaced, but historically important as the predecessor to the famous Jenny series. These machines were crude and outdated, but they marked America's very first steps into military aviation. Let's move on to the trainers. Curtiss JN-3. The JN-3 was one of the first American biplanes used in large numbers. Light, simple, and reasonably stable, it served along the Mexican border during the punitive expedition. Although it lacked power and suffered in rough weather, it gave early U.S. aviators their first real operational experience. Curtiss JN-4 Jenny, the most famous American aircraft of the war. The JN-4 trained the overwhelming majority of U.S. pilots, thanks to its forgiving controls, dependable construction, and adaptability. Easy to maintain, stable, and predictable in the air. Produced in enormous quantities. By war's end, thousands of Jennies filled training fields across the United States, becoming the defining aircraft of American military aviation. After the armistice, they flooded the civilian market and powered the barnstorming era. Standard J-1. Built as an alternative to the Jenny, the Standard J-1 featured a rugged steel tube fuselage and was intended to speed up pilot training production. However, pilots disliked its heavy handling and sluggish response. It still trained many aviators, but never reached the reliability or popularity of the JN-4. Curtiss R-4 and R-6 trainer variants. Originally designed as reconnaissance aircraft, these models were often reassigned as advanced trainers. Their larger engines and heavier frames taught pilots how to manage aircraft closer to frontline performance levels. Let's continue with the fighters. S.XIII. Fast, rugged, and brutally effective, the French-built S.XIII became the top fighter of the American Expeditionary Forces. Its Hispano-Suiza engine delivered impressive speed in level flight and deadly power in a dive. Allied pilots loved its toughness. American ace Eddie Rickenbacker scored most of his victories flying one. But it came with challenges. The S.XIII was unforgiving at low speeds and demanded precise handling. Pilots who mastered it found themselves in one of the most lethal fighters on the Western Front. Nieuport 28, the first fighter officially issued to U.S. squadrons. Light, agile, and responsive, the Nieuport 28 handled beautifully, until it didn't. The aircraft had a notorious weakness. Its upper wing fabric could tear off during steep dives. Despite this flaw, American pilots flew it aggressively during their early months in France. Its nimble performance made it ideal for quick interception and dogfights over the trenches. Sopwith Camel, limited U.S. use. One of the most legendary fighters of the war, the British Camel was highly maneuverable but brutally difficult to fly. Its torque-heavy rotary engine could flip the aircraft if a pilot mishandled the controls. A small number were flown by American volunteer units, giving U.S. aviators experience in one of the most iconic and dangerous fighters ever built. S.XIII, training and limited service. Stable, fast, and well-balanced, the British S.XIII offered a smoother, more predictable flight profile compared to the Camel. American pilots used it primarily for training, but some flew it operationally in the final months of the war. It was a superb gun platform, steady in dives, forgiving in maneuvers, and capable of taking punishment. Thomas-Morse S.4 Scout, America's first locally designed fighter to enter meaningful production. The S-4 didn't reach the front, but it became a critical advanced trainer for pilots preparing to transition into real combat aircraft. Quick, compact, and agile, the S-4 gave American aviators their first taste of a purpose-built fighter designed on home soil. Let's move on to the bombers. Airco DH-4, the Liberty plane, the only American-built combat aircraft to reach the front in significant numbers. Designed in Britain but mass-produced in the United States, the DH-4 became the backbone of America's bombing and reconnaissance missions. Powered by the Liberty L-12 engine, the DH-4 was fast, tough, and carried a respectable bomb load. Crews liked its reliability and handling, rare luxuries in early military aviation. But it had one infamous flaw. The fuel tank sat between the pilot and observer. Although not the firetrap legend later claimed, its layout made communication difficult and could become dangerous if the aircraft took hits. Still, the DH-4 flew. Day bombing raids, long-range reconnaissance, artillery spotting, message runs, even aerial photography. It was the workhorse of American combat aviation. DH-4B and DH-4C improvements. After pilots criticized the original design, engineers redesigned the fuel system, improved the controls, strengthened the wings, and added better protection. These upgraded models served after the war, eventually becoming iconic U.S. airmail aircraft. The DH-4 didn't just help win the war. It kickstarted America's civilian aviation boom. Martin MB-1 prototype, the first truly American-designed bomber. Advanced, powerful, and promising, but it arrived too late to fight. Still, the MB-1 signaled America's shift from foreign-built aircraft to domestic innovation, laying groundwork for the bombers of the 1920s and 1930s. Let's continue with the observation aircraft. Curtiss R-4 and Curtiss R-6. Before American pilots reached France, the Curtiss R series served stateside as multi-purpose reconnaissance and training aircraft. The R-4 was slow and unstable, but gave early aviators crucial experience. The R-6, with a more powerful engine and sturdier airframe, helped prepare pilots for the heavier European machines they'd soon fly overseas. Though crude compared to frontline French aircraft, these R-series planes were stepping stones that transformed new recruits into usable observers. Dayton Wright DH-4, U.S. recon version. Beyond its role as a bomber, the American-built DH-4 also served as a frontline reconnaissance platform. Outfitted with cameras, wireless telegraphy, and defensive machine guns, it became the primary U.S. observation aircraft in France. Crews used it to map trench networks, direct artillery barges, spot German troop movements, escort infantry advances, intercept enemy messages. Its reliability and long range made it indispensable. Salmson II-A2, America's favorite two-seater. One of the most popular aircraft flown by U.S. pilots, despite being French. The Salmson II-A2 was beloved for its powerful, dependable radial engine, which rarely overheated and almost never quit unexpectedly. American observers trusted it for dangerous low-level photo runs over German lines. Durable airframe, excellent climb rate, strong defensive gun arcs. It became one of the safest Allied two-seaters in the final year of the war. Liberty engine observation conversions. In 1918, engineers experimented by installing the new Liberty engine into older European airframes. Some conversions improved performance dramatically, others shook violently or tore fabric clean off the wings. Few reached combat, but these trials shaped U.S. post-war aircraft design. Curtiss JN variants as scout aircraft. On the Mexican border and U.S. home soil, modified Curtiss JN trainers filled reconnaissance roles. Underpowered and vulnerable, they were never sent to Europe, but they proved valuable for patrol and training missions before the U.S. fully mobilized. Let's move on to naval aviation. Curtiss H-12 and Curtiss H-16. These large, America-type flying boats were among the Navy's most important patrol aircraft. Long endurance, room for multiple crewmen, capable of carrying bombs, depth charges, and radios. The H-12 served as an early submarine hunter, while the improved H-16 added a stronger structure and better reliability. They scouted for U-boats, protected convoys, and flew long-range reconnaissance missions over the Atlantic. Curtiss Model F and MF flying boats. Smaller than the H-series, these early flying boats trained most of America's naval aviators. Their simple wooden hulls and forgiving flight characteristics made them ideal for new pilots preparing for open-sea operations. Curtiss HS-1L and HS-2L. Powered by the American Liberty engine, the HS series became the Navy's primary anti-submarine aircraft. Long patrol range, stable over rough water, carried bombs for attacking surfaced U-boats. The HS-2L featured larger wings and better lift, becoming the Navy's most common World War I patrol aircraft. Curtiss NC Nancy boats. Enormous multi-engine prototypes developed in the final year of the war. They were too late to fight, but they represented a major leap forward in American aircraft engineering. One of these later made the first transatlantic flight in 1919, proving how far naval aviation had come. Let's continue with the experimental aircraft. Curtiss XP series prototypes. Curtiss engineers rushed to create a homegrown U.S. fighter to rival French SPADs and British Se-5As. A series of XP experimental models tested new engines, fuselage shapes, and wing structures. Some flew well, others shook themselves apart, but all contributed to America's rapidly improving design knowledge. None were ready in time for France, but they marked the beginning of true American fighter development. Gallaudet D-Series. One of the strangest American aircraft of the war. The Gallaudet designs used a rear-mounted propeller driven through a hollow fuselage, an engineering experiment years ahead of its time. The concept offered great aerodynamic potential, but mechanical complexity and vibration issues made it unsuitable for combat. Loening M8. A sleek monoplane fighter prototype, radical in an era dominated by biplanes. The M8 promised excellent speed and visibility, but arrived too late for the front. Still, its innovative layout would influence post-war American designs. Christmas Bullet, the infamous failure. One of the most notorious aircraft ever built. Marketed as a revolutionary, safe plane, it instead had wings so weak they collapsed in flight. Both prototypes crashed fatally. A disaster, but a reminder of how desperate some designers were to catch up technologically.